Hi everybody, how you doing? It's Marcus here from Make Your Life Count, and I just wanted to do this video just to make you aware, if you didn't already know, that it is October and it is also Stoptober. So how many of you out there are wanting or have been trying to give up cigarettes? Now, I've had some amazing results with my client, and I wanted to explain why, because there's not much information out there about why people actually smoke. And a lot of the campaigns that are presently out there supporting Stoptober are about using alternative methods. So if you've ever tried to give up smoking, you've probably found it really, really hard to actually just stop, just like that. You can't, because it's nothing to do with the cigarette, it's to do with the feeling that the cigarette gives you. So many of the methods that are out there, whether that be patches, whether that be e-cigarettes, are all there really to try and wean you off, but they're just a replacement. And many people, when they stop smoking, will often find they'll replace the cigarettes maybe with food, possibly drink, or other things. Now, that could be positive. You could actually replace the cigarettes with maybe going to the gym or going for a walk. So there's some really great initiatives out there. But I wanted to explain to you why you actually smoke in the first place. And in fact, why anybody is addicted to anything, whether that be cigarettes, alcohol, drugs, even things like porn, gambling, anything like that. And it's quite simply this, that when you are born, you are not addicted to anything in regards to anything that's going to hurt you. You know, these things aren't natural. Smoking isn't a natural thing. However, what is natural is connection. What smoking gives people is two things: the ability to breathe deeply and connection. So when you breathe deeply, so you take a deep breath in and you then exhale, any stresses or anxiety or any feelings actually are released. So breathing is an amazing way of getting rid of cortisol, which is our stress hormone. And that's why many people, when they first have a cigarette, will take that big deep breath in and feel immediately better, because they're telling themselves that by taking that big deep breath in of cigarette smoke, that it's actually serving them. Now, if smoking's about connection, most people will say, well, I know when I started smoking. You know, the majority of my smoking clients that come to me will say they started when they're in their teenage years. And I want to explain why that is. When you go to maybe secondary school, or when you're about 11, 12, 13, it's a pretty tricky time, because you've gone from a stage in your life where everything is possible. You've gone from that dreamlike state as a young child where all your needs are catered for, and all of a sudden you have to start standing on your own. All of a sudden you're expected to start to conform and fit in. So we find that during our teenage years that we're looking for connection, and we can look to nature for this. That when young animals get to a certain age, let's say a pride of lions, they will start to kick out the adult males. They've got to go and find their own way. They've got to go and find their own pride. And we're no different. We're no different to nature. So what we do is we look for people who maybe are feeling in the same way. We're looking for that connection. And often we will do things based on our fear responses. And most of the time, these are subconscious. We're not aware of them. So I want to tell you a story about one of my clients who is actually from France, and she was been trying to give up smoking for so many years, just couldn't. And she was in her 30s, and she just had a 2-year-old child. She got a 2-year-old child, and she was spending more time going out having a cigarette than she was with her child. She didn't want to smoke around her child. She was conflicted. She wanted connection with her baby, with her child, but was also drawn to connecting to smoking. And smoking, and she tried everything: patches, vaping, you name it. So when I worked with her, the crux of the issue is when she was about 3 or 4, so not much older than her child, and she was at a party in France with her mum and dad, and lots of adults around, and mum and dad were smoking and drinking, and there were no children around at the same time. So she went to her mum to get connection, to get that love. Mum was busy and just said, oh, go and play. And it was completely innocent. What happened was her subconscious mind saw that she'd been rejected and created an immediate fear response, a warning sign to say, I'm being rejected, I might die. Now, I know that sounds a little bit over the top, but actually your subconscious mind doesn't know the past, it doesn't know the future, it only knows what you tell it right now. It also doesn't know all of the things that are around in the world. It still has that, it's that part of your primitive brain. So it can see a boss who is having a go at you will give you the same fear response as if you saw a tiger, that anxiety, that feeling in your stomach. So what we do is, so we're not rejected, we try and find connection. So fast forward into the time when she actually took the cigarette, she'd gone from a school that she loved to a new school. And that new school, she wasn't getting on with people, she wasn't connecting with people, but she was on a field trip. And while she was on this field trip, one of the very popular girls offered her a cigarette. Now, she didn't want the cigarette, but she did want to connect. So she took the cigarette and her smoking career started. As soon as she realized that the very thing that she wanted was the thing that she was denied as a child herself, and through the power of rapid transformational therapy and the neuroscience that underpins rapid transformational therapy, she was empowered and able within 2 hours just to stop smoking, because she directed her subconscious mind and upgraded her subconscious mind to know that the connection that she wanted was with her child, not with the cigarettes. And like that, she quit. I have got tons of stories, and there's a video on my YouTube channel that I'll tag into here about Steph, who actually gave up smoking and cannabis within 2 hours.
My name is Stephanie Beecham, like the actress, and I had a really bad problem with smoking and smoking cannabis, and I really didn't have any faith that I was going to be able to quit either of those. And here I am, 22 days later, smoke free, cannabis free. Well, I was rather fearful because it was actually my partner who was paying for it, and I thought, if he pays for this and then it doesn't work, I was quite fearful that he would be annoyed with me. But I was very apprehensive about it to begin with. I thought, you hear about hypnotism and you hear that some people think it's good, some people don't. Like my parents both got hypnotized when my mother was pregnant with me, and apparently it worked for my mum and my dad, not for my mum. She just pretended she'd quit and kept on smoking in the bathroom. So yeah. In hindsight, I mean, I would pay double, because at first I thought, and it's a lot of money to be wasting if it doesn't work. But like now, I'm just so happy that we did, because I mean, literally, I could buy probably 3 or 4 houses in the past with all the money that I've spent, and I've probably got my money back already now. Well, yeah, I definitely already have the money back that was spent on it. My advice to you would be, just do it. Just do it, because you won't realize how much better you'll feel until you've been through it and done it. And once you've done it, it's done. It really does work. And I was skeptical at the beginning, and now I'm just totally convinced by it. And it's definitely worked for me anyway.
So get in touch. I'd love to hear your comments. Comment on this post. And if you know somebody who's trying to give up, somebody who's struggling, then let them know about me. Because in 2 hours, I can set you free. Or what I should say, in 2 hours, you can set yourself free. Thank you for taking the time to stay to the end of this video. And as a special gift, if you go to my website, under the Stoptober banner, which is stopsmoking.makeyourlifecount.co.uk, there's a free gift waiting there for you. So what are you waiting for? You've got a free gift and the opportunity to get your health and your wealth back. So do it this Stoptober. Do it today. Make your life count.